Good morning. Slightly creepy shot in the dark there, but it's just before 6 o'clock. Actually had a good night's sleep last night, but feels like I want more because I guess I'm catching up from the last couple of nights. But yeah, the sun has come up. You can just see it. But yeah, gonna get up, have a coffee, get started with the day. Camp's pretty much packed up. I'm just waiting for the last of my water to filter for the walk. Not going to have much to say today because my phone battery's getting low and my power packs have been misbehaving, so haven't given me the charge as I expected. So it has been funny though. I've been doing some hard walks, like day 2 was just long and a lot of uphill, and that burnt me out. But the whole time I was loving it. I was tired, I was exhausted, I was loving it. Same with day 3 and 4, those hills were utterly brutal. And the whole time, it sucked and I was over it and I just wanted to walk on level ground, but I was enjoying myself. The funny thing is, when I get to camp, when I walk into that campsite, I get this kind of weird melancholy. And I've not been able to put my finger on it. Like, missing home and missing the family is part of it, obviously. But there's something else there. And when I was writing my journal yesterday, I wonder if it's because I don't have any of that instant gratification that you normally would, I can't pull out my phone and look at Instagram or play a game, or I don't have a TV to hand. The only thing working here is my own brain, and I'm kind of weaning myself off that addiction. And I don't know, day 4, I've woken up feeling a little more optimistic. Day 5, keep forgetting it's day 5. But yeah, I don't know really what I'm trying to say here, but I was struck thinking about it. There's a fella called Kevin Callan. He's a Canadian guy who writes guidebooks and does a lot of outdoors for mental health stuff with disadvantaged young people. And he always said that you don't live the outdoors until day, he said 3 or 4, I think. I might be misquoting him. But up until then, you're just visiting. You're anticipating going home, I'm here for another night, then I'm gone. Whereas I think for me, understanding now that I'm here and it's not over tomorrow and it's not something to be born, it's just something to be experienced. And I think that might be where I've hit. And I think that might have been my problem first couple of nights, where I'm enjoying where I am, but I'm anticipating going home. Whereas now I've realised I'm here for the duration. Just live it. Anyway, that was probably some overly wordy bullshit. But that's kind of where my head's at right now. And here we are, North Cobble Remote Bush Camp first look coming up. As it turned out, there is a road running alongside North Cobble Creek, so that was significantly easier than I was expecting it to be, which was actually nice today. Means I get here, it's just before 11, and now I've just got time to chill and relax and get some energy back before tomorrow. So I'm going to sit down. Oh, let's have a look. There's a someone to greet us here. G'day, mate. But yeah, I'm going to sit, relax, take my time, and just have a day of rest, which I think I've earned. Well, first impressions of North Cobble Camp are that it's quite nice, treed, relaxing, just what I want for today. And we come to the problem. This is Cobble Creek, as it is just down from camp. What it lacks severely is water. So I'm going to have to go for a bit of a wander and find somewhere to get drinking water from for tonight and for the walk out. So do I head east or do I head west? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Hopefully we don't have to go too far. The creek is pretty much bone dry. The only bit of water I've been able to find anywhere near camp is this. It's just this little spring trickle. So just here, I've just removed some rocks and dug it down a little bit deeper. That's why it's all muddy and swirly. So yeah, just waiting for some of that turbidity to clear and then we'll get some water. So I figured it was going to take a little bit of while to collect this water. So I thought I'd bring my lunch down while that all happened. But I hadn't counted on having to dig the hole a bit deeper, so just been waiting for this turbidity to go down. But it's pretty wild for what is a little spring, basically 300 by 300, not much more. The amount of life that's going on in there, be it little wriggler nymphs to water beetles. I've even seen a couple of little freshwater shrimp. Not sure whether they're red claw, blue claw, I don't know, could be macrobrachia, but yeah. Just the amount of activity in one tiny little bit of water. It's incredible. I tried to get some footage, but there's just too much reflection on the water, so you're not getting anything clear. I don't mean to scare you there, little fella. It's just at my feet, literally where I'm sitting here having my lunch. That little critter just crawled out from between a couple of rocks. Isn't that wild? Hello, buddy. Anyway, I'll leave him alone. So, with my water filter, I have 2 of these dirty water bags and then 1 clean water bag. I know they look the same, but I can tell the difference. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to filter 2 litres of water right here by my little well. And then I'm going to fill the 2 dirty water bags with dirty water and unfiltered water, not dirty really. And then I'm going to take that all back to camp. So back at camp I'll have 6 litres of water to deal with overnight, and hopefully that should be more than enough till the morning. And then we'll see whether I need to come down and do a quick refill just to make sure my bladder's full and everything before the climb out of here. Well, that's camp set up for day 5, night 5. Took my time. I got here with plenty of time to spare because of the lack of off-trail. So, just been cruising, taking it easy. I was kidding yesterday when I said 6 nights, 6 tarp shelters. And then on the walk I started to think, you know what, why the hell not? Make it a fun day, make it a fun trip. do something different. So tonight we've gone for the simple lean-to. I've got a little tie out line at the back, giving me way more room than I need. Like, you could easily sleep 2 people, you know. This is my setup here. You'd easily fit another one here, gear in between us, but that's all good. I don't mind a little luxury, a little space for myself. A nice high one too. That's what I'm really enjoying about it, because it's quite warm now and I'm pretty much going to be spending most of my afternoon chilling. So that's it. 2:10. Water's ready. Camp set up. I've now got sod all to do until dinner, so I'm going to take advantage of that, read my book, write in the, where is it, there, the visitor's book for the camp, and just relax for the first time in 5 days. Just stop and chill. But yeah, so unless anything incredible happens in the next couple of hours, excuse me, thought I'd take the shirt off, get a bit of a tan, bit of a tree tan. So yeah, unless something incredible happens in the next couple of hours, I probably won't bother checking in again tonight, and leave it till tomorrow morning. Cheers. So day 5 starts out at Middle Cobble Bush Camp. Nothing too crazy here. This was then just climb out, and this couple of Ks along here up to about this point, it's really barely a kilometre, but that was just uphill and that was steep slog. Good fun. And then here it turns and it changes from being uphill to being exactly the opposite, downhill, all the way down. Now this is the older map, so it doesn't actually have this next road. So nowadays there's actually a dozer road that follows the creek all the way in. Pretty flat, pretty level, couple of creek crossings, but nothing too mad, and that gets you to North Cobble Camp. So this honestly was one of the nicer days. This was probably the easiest days walking. A little bit of steep at the start, a little bit of steep on the downhill, but then from here it was just a good sort of 2.5 kilometres, 3 kilometres, depending, because it's a pretty wibbly road, so it probably was actually more like 3 and a bit actual covered ground to North Cobble Camp. Good morning, day 6. North Cobble Bush Camp. Nice spot. Shame about the lack of water, but we got there in the end. Just having a coffee. Then we're going to break camp and head on up for our final night at Northbrook Mount. Few Ks to put in today. I think it ends up, it's not as bad as Tuesday, but I think it ends up being nearly 12k. Actually maybe a bit, yeah, probably adding a 12, 15, something like that. Anyway, I'm guesstimating. So yeah, some miles to do today. So we're going to get packed up and get on the road soonish. And there we have it. Leaving North Cobble Camp. Farewell to the cow spirit. I didn't have a coin to leave, which seems to be the traditional offering, so I left a little poem instead. So I'm never going to get a clear shot on this camera, but there's a whole flock of these little grey and white spotted birds jumping all over here. I'm just going to take a little bit of time to try and get a little bit of footage of one. Probably all I'm going to get is little shapes moving through the trees. Well, that was pretty cool. There were heaps of them little birds there. Heaps of them little birds, good proper English care. It's a couple of different species, none that I can recognise straight away. I'll have to look them up when I get home. And here we are, where Cobble Break, North Cobble Break meets Cobble Creek and Hawkins Road. Funny thing is, one of my maps when I was planning the trip had Hawkins Road marked. The other very explicitly said there was no trail to North Cobble Bush Camp. I was a little bit tentative as to whether there was going to be a road or not, and I was sort of working on the idea that I was going to have to just follow the creek in the whole way. Not to betray this rugged outdoorsy exterior, but I'm actually pretty glad there was a road. Would have been fine following the creek, but considering everything else we've done this week, I was quite glad of just a nice, reasonably flat, comfortable hour's walk. Might still come out and do the creek run one day just to say I did, but as part of an overnighter or a 2-dayer instead of this insane adventure. Just having a bit of a break and a recovery because the next bit is the climb up North Cobble Break, which I came down yesterday, so I know it's going to suck. It's as steep, if not steeper, than some of the stuff I did on day 3 and 4 out at South Cobble, but at least here it's a dozer break, so it's going to be a lot easier than it was bush bashing up there. I'm just going to give myself another 5 minutes or so here just to chill and relax, and then we'll get into the climb. Righto, got to the car park, picked up the car, took a chance to put a little bit of power into the phone, and then found myself a little bit of a cheat. Instead of going back to my other car park, there's enough room to park a couple of cars at the top of Lawton Road. So I've knocked 3 Ks off today and tomorrow's journey. Yeah, okay, sure, it's a cheat, but end of the day, I trip, I get to do what I want, and quite frankly my legs are sore. So yeah, got about, I think it's about 5-6 Ks to Northbrook Mountain. We've seen this road before, so I'm probably not going to bother filming much unless something interesting happens. I'll see you at camp. What did I say? Unless I see something interesting? Well, how's this? Remember all those beehives that were here on Tuesday? Somewhere in the last 3 days, they've all been picked up and removed. Must be some operation, hey? Okay, made really good time here. I budgeted myself 3 hours for this section of the trek, and it's taken me just pretty much an hour and a half to get here. I've still got half a K or so to go to the actual camp, but near as makes no difference. I'm pretty happy with that. Just stopped here at the water station because as far as I know there's no water up at Northbrook Mountain Camp, so I'm just going to fill up the 2 unfiltered water bladders and take them up and filter them on site. But I've still got a litre in each of my water bottles, and I've still got what's left in the bladder and my Camelback sort of thingy. So that should do me in the morning, and I'll be able to fill up for the return trip as I come past here tomorrow morning. Well, got to camp a little while ago, but I didn't film it because there's a bunch of people there, so I'm just gonna not be the idiot waving a phone around. Might try and get some footage or at least a couple of photos before I leave tomorrow. So yeah, it's going to be a crowded night. There's a fella and his daughter, and then another bloke who I met at the trailhead, who I think he said it's his first time out, coming out for a hike and an overnighter, so good on him. So it should be a bit of a chat tonight, and yeah, we'll see how we go in the morning. But just wandering along the trail from camp, there's a sign over here that says lookout, so don't actually know how far. Shouldn't be too far though. Go and see what we see. So this is it, Northbrook Lookout, and pretty much makes the effort worthwhile. If I'd planned ahead, I would have brought a cuppa up here and just sat and watched the view. I might actually even do that after I've made camp. I might even come up here and have an early dinner up here at the lookout. We'll see how motivated I am once the tarp's up. Day 6, we start out at North Cobble Camp, make our way along the creek line, along that lovely graded path, back to the start of Cobble North Break. From here, it was just climbing, just steep and slow, back to this intersection, and along Cobble North, back up to Lepidozamia Break. Here it starts to flatten out, it's a little bit nicer, and you get to the Lepidozamia Bush Camp. From there, 2.5 odd Ks, down Lepidozamia Break, back to the car park, jumped in the car, and here's where I made myself another executive decision. The original plan was to head back down here and back down to Myalla car park. But being that it was day 6 and was starting to gas a bit, I decided to cheat, parked here at the start of Lawton Road, and then just do the Lawton Road walk back in, stopped here at the water tank, filled up my water for the night, and on to Northbrook Mountain Camp, which, stunning spot. I'm glad I finally made it there. And it was kind of a nice change for the last night to actually have company and to sit around and have a chat with some people, meet some great people, and just enjoy ourselves for that final night. G'day, morning of day 7. We made it. Well, still got to get home, but it's just before 6. Just wandering up to the lookout to see if there's a little bit of interesting light, take some photos and have a look around. Then I'll head back to camp for breakfast and get moving. It was a bit of a different night last night, having 5 other people in the camp. That was good. That was quite a fun way to end the whole thing. So yeah, go out, have a look at some sun, come back, have some breakfast, and then head off. So apparently yesterday I missed half this lookout point. Come over this side, you can see clean all the way out to Wivenhoe. So the other bit where we were yesterday, that's sort of east facing, and this section is southwest facing. So you really get a much bigger view of the whole area. Look at that. Ha! Great place to spend the last night. That's it. Packed up, leaving Northbrook Mountain Bush Camp. It was my last home for this 6-night trip. Definitely different having company, full house and all, but good people, good chat. So I think it was a fitting way to end the whole thing. 5 nights solo, and then 6 nights, 6th night with some company. I'm the last one here, partly because I was taking my sweet time. I think now that I'm looking down the barrel of going home, which, don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to, but yeah, it was nice just to take my time and just savour the last morning, I guess. So, got the Launton Road walk out now, which the last section of it is all uphill, which I'm not particularly looking forward to, but that's all good. It's all over, bar the shouting now. Well, that's it. Day 7. I'm just come from on here, down Launton Road. I don't know whether it's 3rd, 4th, 5th wind, or just knowing that it's the last day out. But I just flew up that. I don't know where that energy came from. But yeah, just powered that, which was great feeling. On the downside, I kind of now wish I hadn't taken the shortcuts to make it a shorter trip today, but you know what? I'm about 100 metres away from the car, and then about an hour's drive from a nice shower and getting off my feet. This has been a fantastic week. Really good for the brain and for the self-esteem, and just a nice hard reset to go home from. So feeling very satisfied, very grateful, and not a bit accomplished. So on that note, here ends this adventure. Ta-ta. Day 7, hardly worth noting on the map. Left Northbrook Mountain, came down here and back out Launton Road. Now I don't know what happened on this day, whether it was just last day energy or whether it was walking myself fit, but smashed that out in an hour and a half. Done, dusted, ready to go home.